Okay guys, today we're going to fix an old impact gun that's been broken for a good 10 plus years. It was my brother's. I have no idea how the hell he broke it. You guys will see. This will be pretty good. Okay, so this is an old Ingersoll Rand. Basically, the gun that every mechanic on the planet has had at some point. The gun was jammed. I actually took it to the Snap-on truck, and before I decided to do it, I had him and asked him. He wanted to charge me almost, I think it was like $200 damn near, $150. I was like, what? To do it? I was like, it can't be that expensive. Then I said, all right, let me open it up. All right, as you guys already see, I already opened it. I didn't do it on camera. It's just you got your three screws. This is the gun right here, an old 231C. You have your three screws that come here. You pull it apart, all right? You have these, they have Loctite on them, as you can see right here. This is your whole hammer assembly. Everything in here is fine, and everything's still greased up. I'm not even gonna go in there and take it apart. I mean, you can see, you push it out, you have a bearing in here, and you have a seal. The hammers come out, as you can see right there. It's got grease inside of there and all that, so we're not messing with any of that. All that's okay still. Everything rotates nice and freely still, right? So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Where'd my napkin go? I'm not even gonna change the vanes. I ended up buying a tune-up kit for it, but in all honesty, the tune-up kit isn't even what's wrong with it. I really only needed 2 gaskets in the arbor, but the only way for me to get the 2 gaskets was to get the entire tune-up kit. Now what happened was, I have no idea how this happened, but he actually somehow broke the arbor. I have no idea how that happened. I've never seen an impact gun break like this. Can't even imagine what the hell he did, but it actually broke it. So that's what was wrong and why it was jammed. Now this part, it's only about 30 bucks, and I was able to actually get it from Amazon. Happened to be an open box, and I think I paid something like 14 bucks for it. Brand new. It's just open box, but it's brand new, not broken, as you can see. And that's it. I mean, the most expensive part was buying this kit. I think this was like 35 bucks, which is an IR kit, a whole tune-up kit for it. But those 2 gaskets right there is really all I need. I don't need the vanes or anything else. So the gun comes apart. This sits inside of the body. You have your body of your gun. This sleeve with the writing out. It fits inside. Some people have to warm this up to get it in and out. This one came in with and out with no problem. Although now I haven't tried to put it back in. It's a little cold today. So maybe I'm not going to be able to get in there. But I do want to clean this little bit of pitting on here. I'm going to use a little Scotch-Brite, a brown Scotch-Brite to do that first before we put it together. But that goes in there, into the sleeve. This sits on the bottom. And back there where you see all the grease in the bottom, we'll add more grease to fill it. We'll pack this with grease here with the new one and pop it in. There's an E-clip here that comes out to hold the bearing in place. Now that kit comes with 2 brand new bearings, but there's nothing wrong with these bearings. And this isn't like an engine that if you, God forbid, you eat up some bearings or something, it's going to go ahead and go circulate throughout the whole gun. I took a look inside, and so basically when this broke, it jammed, and that was the end of it. So all this still spins freely. We're going to clean all this up. This is where the gasket goes. And it goes on the back side of this here, inside of this sleeve. But you guys will see, it's very easy. This whole piece with the hammer, this round gasket goes on this ring. This ring just sits on top of here like that. You tap it in, and this entire unit's already done. It's just a matter of getting the E-clip and the bearing off on the other pieces here that you guys see to get it all done. So that's all we're going to do. I'm going to use some wheel bearing grease in there, and that's it. But we're going to clean this up first. I want to clean this stuff up first. So this is probably just old oil in there. I don't really think it's corrosion. Nothing really seems. I mean, there's no water in here or anything like that. It's just looks like it's just old oil maybe when it's sat, because this gun sat for years until I finally just decided to do something with it. My brother had it for the longest in the box, the original box, and he never did nothing with it. He just went ahead and bought another gun and never got this one fixed or looked into it anymore until I said, let me grab it and see what the hell we got going on here. We're just going to hit it with a little bit of this, as you can see, just to get that little color off, that little discoloration out of there. This is not a brand new pad. This is an old used one. I don't want to be too aggressive with this. We just want to get this little discoloration out of here, and that's it. You don't even feel it with your finger, but I just like to try to get it out of there if I can. That's just me. And that's really about it right there. Feels good. The other one came off nicely. You still have some of the pitting into the metal there, but it's no... You don't, again, you don't feel this. You can see it, but you don't feel it at all on your finger. So, this is just me with my personal preference here, being a little OCD-ish, I guess. And there we go. Looking pretty good. This is the part that faces down into the barrel of the gun, so to speak. Just getting a little of this stuff off. Again, this is pretty boring watching me sand, but we're just cleaning it up. It is satisfying, though, when you do it and you see something like that and you end up doing it. I'll probably dub over this with a little bit of music and speed it up a little bit, because I know a lot of people don't want to really watch this stuff. It'll be the attention span and stuff. People want to get right to the point, but it just isn't like that, guys. I've made that point in quite a few videos in the past. You know, these things that you guys see that take 30 minutes, you know, swap an engine, transmission, everything else in 30 minutes. Yeah, we're done. Yeah, okay, sure. If you really believe that, I got a bricks to sell you guys. Okay, that feels and looks pretty good. Now the inside of here is where the veins go. It is flawless in there. Nothing wrong at all in there. So this is good. We're going to do that. I'm going to come in here now, and I'm going to just, if you guys can see right in there, let a little bit of brown. I want to get that brown off of there. And it's on the other side a little bit. That's it. I'm going to face it this way because I don't want the stuff to fall into the back. Just want to get that off. See? Just like that. That's clean. We'll do this side. Now, like I said, I'm not going to take apart the trigger. I'm not going to take apart the air valve, even though I'm sure I have all the O-rings and everything in there, because this wasn't the issue with this gun. This gun wasn't even that old. Didn't really have that much use when this happened to it. I still would love to know how it happened. I have no story of what the hell happened to it, but good with that. I'm going to put a little PB on this rag, lint-free, and we'll just put this in here. And we'll rub a little PB in there, a little PB blaster in there for a little lubrication and stuff like that. Whoa, easy over there, killer. All right, and that's it. Looking nice in there, nice and clean. Now the stuff that's in there, I'm gonna use this little piece of wood. I'm gonna take this grease that's in here out, and I'm gonna put new grease in here, but we're still not gonna throw away this grease. We can use this grease to pack this bearing. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this stuff out as much as I can of it. I know it's kind of crazy. Well, it might seem a little nuts, but we're going to just go ahead and get that grease out of there. And we're going to put it right here. Now this is the bearing that sits inside of the gun here. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna clean this surface up as well, because this is where the new gasket's gonna go on. But we're gonna put a nice big glob of grease in there and clean this up. This is most likely here, you're looking at old gasket material that's still on there. If I could scratch it, actually I can't even scratch it with my nail. This might just be a little bit of water stuff in here. I'm tempted to use the wire wheel on it, but I don't want to. I could use the brass wheel on it, but I'm just going to leave it alone. And we're just going to do it by hand like this. Because again, this, I don't even feel this. This is so smooth, it's kind of crazy. I'm just going around it to kill it, knock it down, if anything, a little bit. And kill it a little bit, but... And that's about it there. I'm gonna take this old dirty grease off of here. I'm gonna wipe the whole thing. Okay, so this is nice and smooth here. We're gonna pop this E-clip out now. I'm gonna take this E-clip here and we're gonna just pry it off. Okay. It doesn't want to cooperate. What else is new? There we go. And yeah. I just spent hours looking for my 5mm. I have no idea where the hell that 5mm Allen wrench went. I took the gun apart a while ago and I let it sit. All right, anyways, the E-clip flew away. It's right there. That's what it looks like. E-clip, yeah. All right, so we pull this off. And there's the old arbor. The one that broke that I have no idea how the hell it failed. I would love to know how he did this or how this happened. But there's the old one. Here's the new one. Again, I was able to get it on Amazon for a really, really good price. And even if it wasn't, if I had to pay the regular price for this along with the rebuild kit, we would have been in probably just about 80 bucks maybe. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I had to pay for the labor, I guess, for the Snap-on guy. You know what I mean? So here's the new one. Beautiful. Now we're gonna take this. And you know what? While I have this separated, let me clean this a little bit more. Hit it with a little bit more stuff here. This is just me again, being a little extra, but I'd like to have this nice and clean if I can. These are your air passages. This sits down at the bottom, and your air shoots through here, out through these holes, through the cylinder, and spins the arbor for you. You know, like anything else, you know, anything, I always say, if a man made it, I can fix it. So that's been my motto my entire life. Hence why I fixed everything from, geez, that's just from a little kid. I used to just take everything apart and just go ahead and fix stuff. I always, before I ever throw anything away, I mean, I know today in this day and age, everything is throwaway. Cars, everything. I've always been the one that fixes it instead. You know, I don't know. I guess that's just in me always. My dad was a mechanic. He died when I was very young, though. But he was a mechanic, and I guess it was in my blood. I don't know. Now I could really clean this a little better. See if I could get all this off. There we go. It's almost all off. It definitely lightened up more. If I was to sit on this for a minute and really go, I could get this entire thing shiny, 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 clean. But just going to go a little bit more around it. This side is clean. But that little stain that we have in the metal there is a little annoying. But it's okay. Now, if you were changing this bearing, you're just going to go in here and you would just pull the bearing out. It comes out from here, or you could use a little pick. See that little gap right in there? You could go in there with a little pick and pull it up, or tap it and it would fall out. But we're not going to change it. I'm not changing it. It's pretty good, this thing. We're going to wipe this down again. We still got PB on this rag, so we're going to wipe all this down. I don't want to spray it with carb cleaner. Really no need. I'm trying to just get all this stuff out of here. Wipe it down. Just a little mark in there or something. Okay. And that's it. Most of these things usually have oil in them. It's more oil than anything. They do have some grease, but remember, we always oil our guns, right? So, and that particular bearing in the bottom there, in the back, has grease. So we're just going to go ahead and put some grease in here. And pack this up pretty good in here. Oh, did I just cut myself? I think I did, trying to press down there to turn it. But I want to turn it so we could get the balls spinning and get it in there. There we go. Come on. Just like that. I think that's pretty good. We're going to take that cavity now in the gun here, and we're going to put grease at the bottom, because remember, the bearing sits inside of this cavity, so once it spins, we'll be good. I'm going to put a nice amount of grease in there. This is axle bearing grease when you do half axles. Now, what's funny is, back in the day, I remember it was common for us to just rebuild an axle. Axle would come in with a torn axle boot, and we would just go ahead and do it. We would take it apart and do it. Not this day and age. Now, oh, you need an axle. When in actuality, you really don't. Most of the time, all you need is just an axle boot. The axle is okay. You just got to clean it, as long as you didn't drive around forever on it with the boot broken. But again, that's old school stuff, I guess. But just about every part on a car could be rebuilt. I always tell people that, and they look at me like I'm crazy. From alternators to starters to calipers to wheel cylinders. Now, wheel cylinder and things like that, you're not going to do really on a newer car because they're pretty cheap. But if you happen to have something really old that you can't get the stuff for anymore, you bet your ass you're going to be rebuilding it. You know, wheel cylinders are pretty cheap, but a caliper, on the other hand, can get pricey depending on what we're talking about. So that should be enough there. I think I have enough grease in there. I know you guys are looking at the screen, just hearing me talk right now, but hold on. I'm cleaning my hands off here real quick. Okay, so we got that in there. Got a nice little amount of grease in here. Now we're going to put right in there. Okay. Now, Put that like that. I'm swiping my hands, guys. Swiping my hands. This is, of course, high temp grease and everything else, so it's most likely overkill for this because most of these guns, they're lubricated with oil more than anything. That's why they tell you to. They only put grease really on a very small amount of grease on the back, as you guys saw, but we're definitely putting more than that in there. So I'm going to clean the excess off of here on the sides. Let's go ahead and open this kit now. It's a genuine kit, as you guys can see. We got our hologram and everything else in there. Oh, we got tape on here. Okay, now you got your little parts breakdown here, which is excellent. The only main thing on here to remember is your, and I'm not even showing you on here. Oh, there we go, the vanes. How the vanes go back in. But we'll get to that later. So, all right, so here we go. We got all the new vanes right there. Like I said, I'm not gonna bother doing that. These are your O-rings for, and your O-rings and your, this is your clip also. They give you a new E-clip as well, I see. And they give you a new spring and everything else in here. I think this circlip, I got the circlip here for the anvil. That's good because mine is bent. I may end up changing that, but I also have the kit from Just Clips as well, because the one on this gun somehow is bent. Again, I don't know how that happened either. We have a new spring for the trigger. So all this stuff is great. We have it in here, but I'm actually not going to use it. I got this entire kit, and these are your bearings. So we'll have them in the future if we ever need them. At least we'll have all this stuff for the future, and hopefully I could buy these gaskets by themselves. If I need them again, hopefully, and I don't have to buy the entire kit again, because then it'd be like, damn, I should have just changed it all, but there really is no need. This gun didn't have a lot of time on it. I still don't understand how he broke it, but here's our gasket we're looking for, and this one. These are the only two pieces I need out of that kit. So, here we are. I'm gonna get this little excess grease that we put in here out. Okay, this gasket just falls in here. Now there is a little locator pin in there. You know what, let me see if I could clean that a little better. This excess grease that we got here. Sorry, I know you guys, my hand was blocking you, but I'm just taking this little bit of excess grease here that's sticking out. I'm trying to pop it back in there a little bit. But we're going to go ahead, I'm going to see if I can reach in here with the rag and get that little bit of excess off. And then we'll drop the gasket in. Then we could drop the bearing in and the arbor and all that good stuff. Okay, so we give it a little wipey wipe. Okay, that's pretty good right there. Now, we go ahead and drop this in. And line that up. Now, when I line that up, let's see. That's interesting. The gasket, when you line it up, as you can see, it covers a little bit of the hole there. See that? And I flipped it around to make sure to see if it was directional, and it is not. So let's flip it over again just to double check and make sure. We flipped it over, put it in there like that, and it is not. This is our little locator pin that holds the whole thing and lines up the whole thing together. We'll do it right there like that, and there we go. So that's in. Now we could put this to the side. Grab our new arbor here, and we're gonna pop this bad boy in. And there goes all that extra grease that we had. That was on there. We'll go ahead and put that. Let me wipe my hands quick again. Now we're just going to take this E-clip and we're just going to push it back on. Should be able to push it back on. If not, you get a screwdriver. I'm sorry, a pair of pliers, and push it with a pair of needle nose. But we got it on with our screwdriver. Now that's it. That takes care of that right there. Now we take and we pop this bad boy in. Just like that, we're in. Oh, there we go. See, guys, mistakes happen. Got to pull it back out because the sleeve goes in after. That's my fault, but I'm glad you guys saw it. And we're not going to take that out. We're going to show. That's how it is. You know, when we do work, everything isn't perfect like some other channels try to show you. Hopefully you guys can, you can't see that. I'm trying to get it out now. So let's see if we can pull it out the way it went in. It should be able to, because it was able to come out. There we go. So we got that out. Okay, now let's try this again. We're lined up in there again. Now we're going to drop this in. Let me put the locator pin in to help us out. We'll pop the pin in. Pin is in there. Now we're going to go ahead and try to get this one in here. Pin is located there. Gonna wiggle, 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 wiggle. Tap, tap. Hopefully we don't have to heat this. It didn't have to get heated to come apart. So let's see if we can maybe, there we go. That tapped it in. We got the locator pin there, and there we go. It all dropped in. Sounded violent, but we're good. We're in, all right? Excellent. Now we got to put the vanes in. Now this is what I don't remember. I may have to look at something first because this picture in the screen, I'm sorry, in the little thing here doesn't look great. Yeah, give me a second, guys. I'm pretty sure they go in this way, but I'm going to take a look at something quick. I took a picture, and I got to use the phone, unfortunately, for it. So give me a second, guys. All right, guys, we're back. They go in this way, just like that, which is what I thought they were, but I'm going to wipe these bad boys. And you drop it in. I'm going to throw some oil on them, of course, after I get them all in, before we start it all up. So we'll go ahead and spin it, drop that one in. I'm wiping each one as I go, just to make sure. These are made of nylon, so They're pretty durable and whatnot. Of course, they will wear, but like I said, this thing didn't have a lot of mileage on it when we or when it died. So it did not have a lot of mileage on it, which is still, to me, I don't understand how it broke. I still would love to know how the hell or what he did. And that's it. They're all in there. As you can see when they spin, see how the veins, well, I don't know if you guys, there you go, how the veins come out. And that's how this bad boy works. Okay, now we need to take the upper bearing, this guy here. We're going to clean this one up like we did with the other one. I'm going to go ahead and wipe this a little bit. Okay, now we got the same type of thing going on here a little bit at the back. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit this for a little bit here. Again, I don't feel this. You can't feel it with your nail, but just making sure that we're good there. There is a little hole here, right in there. I'm going to spray a little PB in there, make sure we're clear. I'm sure this is an air passage. Okay. Okay. Sprayed a little PB in there. Now I'm going to take the grease that I said from before that we had down there, right? And we're going to take this grease here and we're going to repurpose it. Why not? This grease is lighter. I can feel that, which is what they put in the gun initially. So, or what they use. But the other grease is good. If anything, overkill is always good when it comes to that stuff. So. Okay, so we got that in there. I'm gonna take this excess off. I'm gonna put it on the splines. Why not? The excess we got here, we'll put it on the splines. There's gonna be a bunch that's gonna come out when I drop it in. You gotta be careful when you drop it in too, because it'll try to push the bearing out sometimes. Gotta move it over just a hair. And there we go. Now that's popped in. Just like that. See the little locating pin? Everything is assembled. And again, we're going to put all this grease around the splines again here. The splines are what connect to the hammer on the gun. Now this washer goes above here. There's a little step on this washer. We're going to clean it now. This step goes down towards the bearing. Now, if you're going to do this, just take it apart. Take pictures if you need to. And just, you know, take your time with it. As you see, it's actually pretty simple. The main thing was to remember where the veins go. Okay, so this goes right there, like that. You have these two crush washers. These two little pressure washers. They go in here. They go with the bevel down. They're bent, as you can see. They're like spring washers. You would think you could easily put them in backwards like this, but when they come out, they're like this, with the bevel piece down. That goes in there like that. Now we can move on to the hammer part. Like I had said before, this hammer piece is all together. We didn't mess with it because there was nothing to mess with there. Everything was pretty good. And it's still all greased up, original grease and whatnot. I'm not even going to bother going in there to grease everything else up. If we needed to, it's not hard to do, and it could be done at another time, but there really is no need for it. Now, this is the washer that came, the gasket that came out of it. The new IR one, it's interesting too. This seems a little thinner and more flimsy, actually, but I didn't like that this one has the nicks on it. See, it's got the nicks and it's missing some pieces there, so that's why I didn't want to reuse this one. So went ahead and got the kit. So here's the ring. This goes in here like this, just like that, and then we tap it on. Tap the entire thing onto the hammer there. Didn't even have to tap it. That was went right in. And that's it. Now, if you notice, these two screws are closer than this one. There we go. Just like that. Now, these screws had Loctite on them. I'm going to put it together without the Loctite. I don't think we're going to really be that crazy. And if anything was to happen, of course, I'll be able to notice that it's getting loose and we can tighten it and then go ahead and do Loctite then. Right now, we're just going to throw it back in. There's still plenty of the stuff left on here. I think we'll be just fine, guys. I think we'll be just fine. I'm using each one little by little to draw it down. Remember, you're compressing those spring washers that are in there as well. So a little bit at a time on each side to get it down, to draw it in. This is actually a cool little tool. I bought this, I forgot where I got it from. It was a woodworking catalog, I believe. Basically, it takes any Allen key, as a large one and a small one, all different sizes, all the way down to tiny, and it turns it into a T-handle without actually having to spend the money on buying an expensive T-handle set. If you already got this, just buy these. They weren't very expensive at all. Pretty tight. Now, we're not going crazy here. We're not manimaling. We're just going tight where you feel it stop. You can bottom it out, and then you feel it stop, and just snug it up nice and tight. That's all. All right, now... just like that. And that's it, guys. Now we're not jammed anymore. Let's take it over to the air compressor and see what we got. Sorry for the rockiness. We're going to do it with one hand here. Going to have to hold you guys here. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, one hand, one hand. Oh, sorry. Sorry, we're all over the place. But that's some live action. There we go. Good to go, guys. Gun feels strong. Excellent. And yes, for those of you guys that remember, I didn't put any oil in it. That's my fault, but I don't think we killed it. We'll put some oil in it now. All right. And there goes the compressor right on cue. Ugh. Get some oil. That's way too much, but we'll go back here. We're not worried about the actual bearings because the bearings are packed. So the oil would be more for the veins. And there you go, shooting oil out of the exhaust like crazy. That's it, guys. We're going to call this a fix. Okay, guys, so there you have it. We fixed the IR. It's good to go. Now I got another gun to add to my usefulness. My Craftsman one is getting a, well, I don't know. That gun's very old. Still works good, but this thing, you already heard it. You hear how good it sounded, so it's good to go. Again, this is for the man, that looks backwards. Great. Anyways, we're looking at the IR 231C. Basically, every mechanic on the planet has this damn gun. So it's good to go. We got that back up and running. We've been doing a lot of stuff. I have a lot of videos to edit. There's more stuff to come, but between work and everything else, for you guys that don't do the YouTube stuff, it's easy to sit back and watch and say, oh, excuse me, put more content up, etc. and whatnot. And I'm with you guys, and I want to do it, and I'm trying to get it done. So, but there's other things, you know, got the 9 to 5, got to do stuff in the house, etc., etc. So, but here it is. We got this done. We got more videos coming. Stay tuned. Please, please like, subscribe. We're almost there, guys. I'm almost there. We're at almost 600. I need 1,000 and plus to keep on going. And hopefully we can bring a lot of cool stuff to the channel, a lot of cool things that I would love to do, but we need the channel to be able to fund the channel. If not, we're just going to continue with what we're doing, help out people, show you guys how to do things, and that's it, and keep it pushing. No sponsors here. Everything that you see that I got and everything else is all me. Nobody's giving me a damn thing. All right, guys. Just a lot of years of working on cars and stuff like that. I hope you guys love it. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We got more coming. Take care.